that before Monday morning, you look this stuff over. Yeah, but wait until office hours to start is not a good idea.
You do both, that's why.
Wake up.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. Working through practice quiz 2. So our quiz on Monday will be another 2-sided. So another big quiz. All right. So what do you think about problem number 1? Jack says 4 to the x equals 64. He log rolled it? Yep. And then we just got to figure out how many 4s do I have to times together to get 64?
4, 3.
We can randomly guess or we can actually figure it out, right? Those of you that said 3 are correct. 4 times 4 is 16. And then another 4 would give me 64. So it takes 3. So the answer to the problem is 3. X is 3. All right, what do we do here? Take a look at that now. Got to make the bases the same. And since it's a 9 and a 27, the base will be 3. So 9 is 3 squared. 27 is 3 cubed. And why did we make a match? So we can cancel them out, and all we care about is the exponents. But be careful, because we have a double here, because that was 3 squared, what are we going to do with these 2 exponents? Distribute. So it's going to be 4x minus 6. And likewise over here, that's going to be 3x plus 24. Okay, so only the 3's go away. We have to keep the whole exponent. So yeah, we'll subtract 3x and add 6. And we end up with x equal to 30. Yep. Easy, right? Now we've got a bunch of logarithms that we have to write as 1. So write as a single logarithm.
Would it be n times n squared over q?
Like that?
Yeah.
Let's see. You think she's right? Let's talk about that for a second. First of all, she's got m's, n's, and q's in here. That's what she needs, right? She said my m's and n's are going to be multiplied because of that. And my q is going to be divided because of that. And then she said this 2 belongs on the n, so that was n squared. And this 3 belongs on the q, so that's q cubed. Done. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Number 4. What is the answer? Root 10. Why is the answer root 10? Those guys like that, written right next to each other on the same line, L and E, gone. This one looks just like the one we did yesterday. And I told you then, I'll tell you again. There's lots of ways to begin this problem, but I'm going to begin by cleaning this up right here. So I'm going to just focus all my energy right here. 2 and 5 do not reduce. How about x squared over x to the 5th though?
Subtract the
So that's gonna leave me with what?
x cubed.
X to the 3rd on the bottom. Think about it, you got 2 over 5. When you start canceling, you're gonna be left over with 3 on the bottom, right? And what happens with my y's? These are gonna have to come down. So what happens, there's 6 of them down there to start with. I'm bringing down 4 more. So now I have y to the 10th on the bottom. Right, folks? Have some nods, like we're awake here. All right, now I'm gonna cube everything. So 2 cubed is 8. 5 cubed, anybody know what that is? It's 125, but if you don't know that, of course, you're gonna multiply. It's 125. Then x to the 3rd is x to the 9th, because these get times. Just like these got times. Y to the 10th to the 3rd is y to the 3rd. Okie dokie, next. 4 to the negative 3 halves. You know how to do this, one step at a time. What do we take care of first? The negative. So the original number is 4 over 1. So it's gonna become 1 over 4. Because of the negative exponent. All right, now, what does the fractional exponent mean? A radical, and underneath will be 1/4. And which root am I taking? Square root? Cube. What's the square root of 1? 1. What's the square root of 4? 2. But you have to cube it. 1 cubed is 1, and 2 cubed is 8. So the answer to the problem is 1/8. How about the next one? Yep, 7 to the negative 1st equals x. We log roll it. What is 7 to the negative 1st mean? 1 over 7. Remember what do negative exponents do? Flip you over. So 7 over 1 becomes 1 over 7. Number 8. What is the answer to number 8? 82. 82. All right, now I'm going to do the opposite of what I did a minute ago. Now we're going to write this out as 3 separate logarithms. So we have a logarithm for each letter. And we include the base. Base is 5. That doesn't change anything. You just include it because it's there. And I've got x's, y's, and z's. So there I go. Now, fill in the rest.
Where does addition sign go between that x and y?
Addition here, would everybody agree with that? Because what's happening there? Multiply, so it's a plus. And then likewise, it makes that a minus. Anything else I need to take care of? The 2 goes in front of the x because 2 is on the x. And that's it. All right, number 10. Logarithmic equation. what is wrong with this equation?
You have to
I
combine.
can't log roll it. Don't you even think about log rolling it, because there's way too many logarithms in the problem. If you're gonna log roll it, it has to look like this. That's what it looks like when you log roll it. You got one logarithm equal to a number, so 4 squared equals x. This is really bad news, at least to start, because that's not possible. So what do I have to do first?
You have
Josh?
to combine the one.
I have to combine those.
But the other one can stay.
The other one stays because it's over there all by itself, and having one over there is not a problem. Having two is the problem. So how do these combine? What's gonna go in here when I put those together? 2x. Everybody okay with 2 times x? Now, be careful. What do I do now? Well, I don't, you can't divide by LOG. What you do is say, if the log of that equals the log of that, then it only makes sense that 2x has to be 19. It's like when we had 2 to the x equals 2 to the y, and we said that means x equals y. It's the same idea. So if 2x equals 19, then x equals 19 halves. And we're done. That's it. It's that easy. All right, just a couple more and then we'll be done practicing. What do I do with number 11?
First, start out by dividing the 8.
Absolutely. And now life is just magnificent because what's 9? 3 squared. And now, because that side's a 3 and that side's a 3, I can just solve my exponents. So I got negative 3 halves. Is that what you got? Is that what you got?
Yep.
Good deal. All right, last one, another logarithm equation.
Would it be log 5 and then the 2 squared times x? I mean 2 cubed times x.
Take a look at that and see what you think. First of all, did you notice you have 2 of them? Okay, that can't be. So then write it as 1. So she said when I put it all together, it's gonna be 2 cubed times x. Is she right? Yes, because the 3 is the exponent on the 2, and that's a plus, so that's gonna be a times. So we have the log base 5 of 8x equal to 1. Now what? Now we log roll it. So 5 to the first equals 8x. So 5 equals 8x, and it looks like x equals 5/8. Okay. All right, so now you have 2 practice quizzes to look at. And we'll have a quiz first thing on Monday. First thing on Monday will be our quiz. Now it's time though, because yesterday we finished the chapter. Now it's time to do some practice work to prepare for our test on Thursday. Okay, so here we go. There's the practice test. This test, I think, for the first time this year, will literally be in two pieces. You will get a white piece that is no calculator, and then you will get a colored piece, like blue or green or some paper, and that will be with calculator. Okay, and that's the way I've split up the practice test. So we're gonna start with no calculator. You do not need a calculator for anything on this page. Here we go, number one. Is this a growth or decay situation? Growth. Why is it growth? Because it's over 1.02. No, here, Aubrey, I haven't put them back there yet because I just haven't given them to one of the periods. All right, what is the percent growth or decay? 2%. That's how much bigger than 1 it is. It's 2%. What is the initial value? 3. Let's not miss that question.
No, I won't.
Okay. All right, write the equation of the exponential function containing these 2 points. What does an exponential function look like? Y equals a times b to the x. Okay, now we just took a quiz over that, and I am not joking. Some kid wrote y equals 2x plus 5 or something like that. What is that? An x plus b is a line, not an exponential. Whatever equation you come up with has to look like this. Okay? What do we know about a? A is 2. So we know that our initial value is the number hooked to the 0. A is 2. So now, how do we find b? Plug in that point right there. So 18 equals 2b to the second. And then how do we solve that? Divide by 2. And then
3
square root. So b equals 3. And then we write our answer, y equals 2 times 3 to the x. All right, now we have a bunch of simplified. All right, so here we go. Most of these aren't going to take too much effort. 8 to the negative second, what does that mean? Well, the original is 8 over 1, the negative is going to make it 1 over 8 squared. And 1 over 8 squared would be 1 over 64. Okay, don't just write 64, it's 1 over 64. All right, how about 1/4 to the negative third? Isn't that going to become just 4 to the third? 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, again, if you don't have it memorized, figure it out. If you haven't memorized, you know it's 64. We keep using these same numbers over and over again. C, 5, done, move on. Because why? Ln E written right next to each other, gone, cancel, inverses. Log base 4 is 16. Now, you might consider setting that equal to x. That might help you. You do not have to do that. But if I set it equal to x, can you see a log roll in there now? It was there before, but it was hard to see because we didn't have that equals. So x is 2. So the answer to the problem is 2. 2. 27 to the negative 2/3. 1 over 27 to the 2/3.
They're throwing that radical.
That's a radical with a 1/27 under it. It's a cube root squared. Some of you are on a roll here, good work. Cube root of 1 is 1. Cube root of 27 is 3. But you gotta square it, don't forget. So the answer is
1/9.
1/9. Some of these are good quiz practice too, because we have, this looks like a quiz question. For our quiz coming up. Alright, so you know what I'm gonna do, because I do it all the time, I'm gonna clean up my parentheses first. So, 2/3. What about my x's?
Gonna be 1 on the bottom.
1 x left over on the bottom, and y to the 5th on the bottom, right? Now I gotta square everything, so that's gonna be 4 on the top,
Yes.
9 x squared, y to the 10th. Kids, that isn't hard, you can do that. One step at a time, you can do it. Speaking of doing it, G. What's the answer to G? 9. 9. Look at that problem. The answer is 9. This is another one that you might want to set equal to x so that you can see the log roll. Wait a minute, what's the base? 10. So 10 to what power is 1,000?
3.
X is 3. 10 times 10 times 10. How about I?
It would be 3/2 to the 3rd.
So the first thing we're gonna do is flip it. So she says 3/2 to the 3rd.
Yep.
So we cube everything and we get 27 over 8. Dale, are you with me? Okay. And how about J? 5. 5. 5. 5. Okay. One more page of no calculator. Then we'll do some calculator stuff on the next page. But this is no calculator. By the way, did I need a calculator for any of that? No, that's all. You guys got this. Don't panic. You can do this. Okay. Log this 3, x minus 2 equals 2. Josh?
I have a question.
What?
Is this test gonna be on like Wednesday or like Tuesday?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Okay. Back to our problem. Here we go. What do I do? 3 to the 2nd equals x minus 2. So 9 equals x minus 2, and x equals 11. Oh, crap, did I take attendance? Oh,
It's okay.
no, it's not okay. They didn't call in. Oh, I did not take it. I did, I just didn't mark it. Alright, so I should and I got 11. Okay, now letter B. Alright, letter B, here we go. Focus. Step 1. What do I do, step 1? Divide by 3. Can't have that extra number hanging out there. So 2 to the x equals 8. So 2 to what power gives me 8? 3.
Did you take this off the test if we just like mentally solved out?
Yep. All right, so here we go. Step 1.
You gotta combine the log. Oh, I'm looking over at F on that. We're looking by 3.
Divide by 3.
Yep.
You cannot have that number.
That's what I meant.
Now, remember, ln is logarithm.
Yeah.
What's its base? E. So I'm gonna log roll that. And, no, not 1/3. E to the 1/3 equals x. Now, am I allowed to leave E in my answer? Yes. It's okay. This is it. Actually, without a calculator, there's nothing I can do anyway, so that's it, right there. ln is a logarithm. And so you're gonna log roll that, just like you do all your other logarithms. All right, what about D?
D would be divided 36.
Divide the 36. So 1/2 to the x minus 1. Okay, what's 9 divided by 36? 1/4. Oh my gosh, the stars are aligned. Because what is 1/4? 1/2 times 1/2, right? So we have 1/2 to the x minus 1 equals 1/2 squared. Remember, without a calculator, everything's rigged. So we got a 1/4 here, which automatically I'm gonna be able to write with the same base, 1/2 to the second. So then what can I do? X minus 1 equals 2. So x equals 3. All right, next. What do you think about problem E? Oh my gosh. We got all kinds of red flags flying here, folks. Can this happen?
No, you gotta combine.
You gotta combine them. You have to combine them. So this is gonna be log base 3 of something equals 2.
Okay. It would be.
Now, I'm gonna combine these.
Yep.
So what do I do with my x plus 1 and my x? Divide them.
Yep.
Why is it a division problem? Because it's a subtraction problem. So now the problem's solvable because now I have one logarithm. So how do I go about solving that? 3 to the second equals x plus 1 over x. Three to the second is 9. Bring the x over. So 9x equals x plus 1. Subtract the x and divide. So it looks like x equals 1/8.
Oh,
That one was tricky,
that one was, sorry, we're catching up.
but I'll.
What am I gonna do with it? All right, letter F, here we go. Take a look at letter F and tell me what you're thinking about this.
You gotta combine.
You gotta combine.
Come on, guys.
What?
These two have gotta be combined into one logarithm. Now, the right side is fine. There's only one over there, So we are fine on the right, but we have issues on the left. Okay, so when I combine these, what's it gonna look like in here in this parentheses? 3x minus 2 over x.
So the subtraction, in the parentheses, the subtraction symbol just,
It becomes a division.
the 3x minus 2?
No, that doesn't change. That stays 3x minus 2, and then parentheses, not
Yep.
touchable,
Great.
divided by x. Now what? Now, since I have 1 on both sides,
Yep.
I can disregard them. So 3x minus 2 over x equals x.
Yes. We can multiply the x.
Multiply the x over, so 3x minus 2 equals x squared.
Oh my gosh, we have we have swing effect.
Move everything to one side. I think I'll go that way because I like to keep that positive, but it doesn't really matter. You just have to have a 0. So I'm gonna go ahead and move everything. So I end up with x squared minus 3x plus 2.
Yes.
Now what?
Factoring.
Accurate. Two and 1. So x equals 2 or x equals 1.
In these, it could only be extraneous if it's negative, right?
If it makes this negative, or this negative, yes.
Okay.
All right, G. Now remember, what's this? That's log base E, right? So what are you gonna do to solve that problem? Log rule it. So e to the negative first equals x. And let's not leave that e to the negative first.
Would it be
1 over e. Yeah. We don't like negative exponents, so we always do 1 over. All right, what about this? We need to make both bases the same. And I have a 27 and a 9. So I'm gonna change them into 3s. So this one's gonna become 3 to the 3rd,
Yes.
and this one's gonna become 3 to the
Second.
2nd. As soon as you make them both 3s, then we just look at the exponents, right?
So 3x.
So 3x equals 2 and x equals 2/3. And then last one in this list. What are you going to do with this? Log rule it. So it's gonna say x squared equals 9. So x equals. The next one says write as a single logarithm. Okay, write as a single logarithm. So that means we're just gonna log something. It's not an equation, you're just kind of rewriting it. So what's gonna go in that parentheses? M to the 4th divided by n. Now let's talk about that, make sure everybody's on board. For sure, we're gonna have to have an m and an n in here. Because of the minus, they're gonna be divided. And this is an exponent on just the m. So that looks perfect to me. Does that look perfect to you?
Yes.
6 is the opposite. 6 says expand this. So you're gonna have a log x and a log y. That's how it's gonna be expanded. Okay? It's gonna be a minus in between because that's a
You put a
division.
3 in front of the log.
3 in front of the x logarithm
Yeah.
and a 2 in front of the y logarithm.
Oh, you out of law.
Alright, so now we get our calculators out. And we do the calculator part.
Wait, I can't do it right now.
No.
Yeah, that's what you add a law. And then, I know. So back to 2 on your calculator, put x, then log 7, right, in parentheses, log.
Already furious with Jack because he doesn't have a calculator.
How do you just know?
Girl, she goes down back there. Josh, you have a calculator? Does it work?
Huh?
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got my phone.
You add a log.
This is what I got. I got some bread.
No,
And
it's just
Jack, you are now up to $1.50.
then you log 7.
Every day.
Divided by log 4, because 1x.
What's this?
Yeah.
That's yours.
Okay. So let's talk about,
I'll donate my other 50 cents to one of Jack's.
alright, that's the back to two.
Thanks, Rob.
Bad respect.
Okay. Alright, now there are 2 different ways you can do this problem. If you remember the conversation we had when we did this in our notes, you remember this is a base 7. My calculator doesn't do base 7. So we have a way of changing the base. Does anybody remember we got this top number and this bottom number? Anybody remember how that works? It's log 19 divided by log 7. So that's kind of the shortcut way to do the problem. You can always do it that way, and it's always the log of this divided by the log of this. Okay, so we type it in our calculator. I gave mine away, I need help. Type it in, and it's going to give me a decimal, 1.5.
1314.
1314. So if I go to 4 decimal places, I guess I'll stop it right there. It says, oh, it says 1,000, so I'll stop it right there. Because 1,000 is how many decimal places? Okay, now, if you don't remember how to do that, you can still do the problem. So let's go back. This is the answer. We've already done it. We're going to do it again in a different way. I'm going to log roll that. 7 to the x equals 19. Then I'm going to take the logarithm of both sides because yesterday when we were doing our word problems, what did I tell you? If the exponent is the variable, then you're going to log both sides.
Yep.
And that comes out in front. And look what happens. We end up with exactly what we got with our shortcut. So you can do it the shortcut way always, or you can go through the actual steps and you will get the correct answer. All right, what about B?
Divide 5.
You're gonna divide by 5. And that one divides nicely, so if you want to divide it, go ahead, or just leave it 12/5, it doesn't matter. Hurry up. And then,
Would you change that, just question, decimal point, or would you leave it in fraction form?
I just got done saying, I just literally got done saying, this one divides nicely, so go ahead and divide it if you want, or leave it 12/5. If it had been 12/7, then no, I wouldn't divide it, because I don't want you rounding off. But that is a nice decimal, okay? Now what? Where's my variable? Look, where is it? It's an exponent, so I'm gonna have to log both sides. This comes out in front, so x log 8 equals log 12/5, or 2.4, depending on what you've got there. So what's x gonna equal? That logarithm divided by this logarithm. So did you do that? 0.421. Anybody else get 0.421? Did anybody get 0.421?
Yes.
Jared, did you even type it in?
Yes.
All right, C. Boys and girls, look at that variable. Where is it? Exponent. Logarithms are in my future here. Not step one, no. What's step one?
You divide.
Divide by.
-2. I'm here.
Good job, Josh. -2.
And then
Now, will ln both sides this time?
Yep, so we can cancel.
So we can cancel. So 3.8x equals ln 6,
Yep.
and x equals ln 6 divided by 3.8.
Yep, put that in the calculator.
Put that in the calculator.
X
I'm watching right now.
0.4715.
0.4715. If I'm going to the 1,000, that's gonna be 0.472. And now all that's left is our new results. So, on the test, or on the board, or on paper something, you're gonna have your two formulas. Okay? All right, so read question number 1. How long will it take for an investment to grow to this if the bank pays this compounded daily?
It's the first one.
This one, because it is compounded 365 times. So here we go. I want to end up with 10,000. I am starting with 6543. My interest rate, be careful, 0.01875 divided by 365 to the 365 t. There's my variable. How long is it going to take? What is it? What's the matter?
Oh, we
Yes,
were
we're bringing it to rocker.
stuck in water.
Okay. Step 1. This is going to be a mess. We can do it though.
Stuck in a rock.
So what's step 1?
Divide.
So we are not going to type this into our calculator. We are going to leave this fraction. We are not going to type Well, if you wanna type this part in on your calculator, you can, but don't round it off. Don't round it off,
You're
so,
missing a zero. Oh, that's a thousand. Put it 6,000.
oh, thank you, that would make a difference, thank you.
And then do the parentheses.
So if you wanna figure out that parentheses, okay, but don't round it off, so tell me what it is in all of its ugliness. What is it, 1 point?
I'm getting that over.
Or so I'm trying to.
1.0005137.
Is that all the places?
Here's one.
Wait.
Where's the-
1.0000. Yeah.
Alright, where's my variable?
The
So I have no choice, I'm gonna have to log both sides. And when I do that, my 365 comes out in front. So I'm logging both sides. $365 out in front. Now quickly, because we're almost out of time. I want you to type in on your calculator. This right here. So take the log of that big fraction.
How many zeros is that?
4.
Come on, hurry up, we're running out of time. Take the log of that big fraction. Okay, you get it?
Yep.
Now, divide it by 365.
Divided by?
Divided by 365.
Yep.
Got 5.04.
Yeah.
It equals, okay, got it?
Equals, yeah.
Divided by log that.
Oh, 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 7. Yep, got it.
And that's the answer.
22.623.
Yeah, 22.623950.
And that would be
T.
used. Yeah, T, fine. All right, we'll pick up here next time. Have a good weekend. Remember, quiz on Monday. Keep an eye on assignments. We got homework coming and doing.